What I want to do here, though, is I'm in the sales area. Let's look at goals. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about goals and goal metrics. So this view, my active goals for current fiscal period, it's relatively specific. Let's go to a different view and let's look at active goals. I'm going to see all the goals that I've defined so far. Okay, so what are these things? Let me make a couple of observations about this. I'll select this one here. First of all, notice that goals are defined with respect to a goal metric. Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. Okay, but the goals have what? They've got an owner. So Alan Jackson is assigned a goal. Okay, there's a fiscal period that the goal is defined for. Notice target, actual, in progress. Let's open up this goal. It's just a regular dynamic CRM record, but it's got some special characteristics to it. So here's this goal record. Okay, notice that this goal, I've called it Q4 individual sales. The goal owner is Alan Jackson, but this goal also has a parent goal. Notice the goal metric. This is what I was saying about every goal is defined with respect to the goal metric. The underlying goal metric here, if I click on it, there's my link to go to the goal metric. This thing is generic. Notice it just says revenue. It's got a data type of money, and it's got two roll-up fields that are defined. Here is where I define the goal metric is tied to the specific record type through these roll-up fields, and you'll see how this works in a second. So I've got the in progress and the actual. Those are always going to be the two choices that you have there, the two things that you got to fill out for a goal metric. Now I close that out. Here we are back to the goal. Looking at the goal, Alan's goals for Q4 individual sales. Okay, so just to kind of catch you up, I navigated to goals, this new entity in Dynamics CRM 2011, and I've got this list that I'm looking at here of active goals. Can have different views, just like I can with any other entity, but I'm going to zero in on this one, and I look at Alan's Q4 goals, and notice that the percent achieved, 114.29, that's a calculated field, and it's based on, let's close that again, it's based on the target, then actual. Notice 200,000 is what that's his actual opportunities closed so far this quarter. There's in progress. So you can see 200 is a little above 175,000. Now I hate it when sales managers do this to me, but I'm going to do it to Alan. He's halfway through, or partway through at the start of a good quarter, and he's already over it. So I'm going to increase his goal, his target a little bit. Okay, so here's what you enter. At a goal level, I've defined this with respect to revenue, which remember was opportunities, in this case, how I defined it. So let's save and close the new goal. And if I scroll down, you'll see 300 is the goal now, 200. But notice, okay, this percentage achieved has dropped to 66.7. So you can kind of see that that goes up, and that percentage achieved gets calculated automatically. Let's open up the goal again. And there's kind of an interesting thing about goals. This was kind of well hidden. I didn't get this at first. But goals have participating records. And this is a good way to see how these work, because if I look at in progress goals, here notice this is the goal of, this is the opportunity associated view. So this is this 150,000 that he's got as estimated revenue. That's what's appearing right there. You can see it on the background in the view, right? Here's what's in progress. So let's just go ahead and open this up. And let's suppose Alan closes this deal. So here's the opportunity. Okay, and let's go give him the general information view of this. So this is, notice the opportunity is owned by Alan Jackson. And let's close this as 1. Let's go ahead and 1. We've got it. Notice the date, it's today's date, 10/7, so that's within Q4. If I close the opportunity as 1, that becomes actual revenue. I close this out, and let's close the goal. Go ahead and save and close. And notice that if I go now to the goals view again, nothing has changed here. It doesn't matter if I refresh this or not. Go down here, notice we get this. That's because these calculated fields, the actual and in progress fields, remember I mentioned they're calculated fields? They have to be periodically recalculated. And if I do that, I'll click recalculate, then what you'll see is that in progress changes from 150,000 to 0, because that's not in progress anymore, that's actual, and it rolls up. Now he's, sort of this, got the arms race between the salesman and the sales manager here, right? Because I upped his target and he, increased it again. Now, to see the kind of the background, here's these goal metrics. Here's revenue that's defined for what? Well, it's pretty generic. This is for opportunities, because I've got these in progress goals. Real quickly, let me show you how you might set this up for something else. If I add a new goal metric, click new. Suppose I wanted, I don't know, invoices. Okay, I'll call this invoice revenue, just to give you a quick demonstration of how this works. I'll accept the default metric type of amount and choose money. That's probably going to be, for most people, the most common one. And as soon as I save this, remember this is, I mentioned that goal metrics are pretty generic. Then what you'll always do, you'll always define these roll-up fields. I'm going to go add a new roll-up field. And this is as far as I'm going to take this, but I just want to show you this thing here. What you're going to do here is, notice you've got actual or in progress. You'll always define these two. You can also do a custom one, but let's just do actual. Then we select the record type. So if I want invoice revenue, it makes sense that I would choose invoices here. And I'll choose a source field, probably total amount would be reasonable for invoices. And here's where we have to kind of think about this a little bit. Okay, we've got the this is actually the status, so-called state. So I'm going to choose paid. Remember, this is actual. And then I'm going to choose status or status reason. And let's just suppose that our definition of an actual invoice revenue is going to be paid with a status reason to be completed. Okay? I have to choose a date field. And in this case, I'll choose, how about modified on? Because if it's paid and complete, that'll be the last date, the date that it got paid, flip to paid, that would be the modified date. So then I do a save and close, and that's how you build out the so-called roll-up fields for a goal metric. Then I define a goal in terms of that. Now I don't want to go through and complete that now, just because we don't have time in the short format, but I wanted to give you a glimpse of how we create the goal metrics. Then you'll create goals with respect to those. Now, what I want to do here is, let me show you how goal metrics and charts might work together. So let's go back to, well, we'll navigate here to the goals. Okay? And what I want to do here is expand the charts for this goals area and for the goals entity, and show you the kinds of charts that we have to deal with here. These are the special charts that I mentioned. Goal progress, notice count, or money. Count's the default. I could change that to say goal progress money. Let's expand this a little bit. And this, out of the box, is not a very useful view, because this is showing me what? Remember I said that charts by default show you the underlying filter or the view? This shows me every record in goals, and that's not really what I want. Let me show you what might make a little bit of sense here. Let's apply a filter to these goals, and let's look at a chart, okay, of goal progress, filtering by a specific owner. Let's suppose I just want to look at Alan's goals. Let's add him. Now this will start to look a little bit better. I'll refresh the chart. So now I can see I filtered it by owner. There's all of Alan's goals, but I'm kind of mixing and matching here. This is not really apples to apples, because I've got the way I've defined it in this data set. I've got individual sales goals defined for each quarter. Then I've got this different goal, which is Alan's, but this has to do with something else. This has to do with service activities, totally different. So what I might do here is, let's filter this down. Let's do a custom filter on the name, and let's say that the name is going to contain sales. So now what we'll do is we'll only look, this is an apples to apples comparison. Refresh the chart, and now I can see, okay, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Let's make this a little bit bigger and get a feel for what this is. So this characteristic type of chart, this goal progress, always is going to show you what? It shows your in progress and your actual compared to the target. The target's always going to be in blue. And you notice, remember, he doesn't have any in progress anymore because I closed his opportunity. So this will always show you, let's see, if I choose a different owner now, okay, let's choose a different one. Let's look at my numbers. Let's add me and remove Alan. Refresh this. So you see what I did? I quickly just kind of did. Now you can see I got some in progress. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't. You're going to have to plumb the depths of this a little bit to figure out how to get it to sort right. But you can see that for Q4 here, I've got some in progress stuff and some actual, and we compare them to the goal. So this is a special kind of chart, okay, that does that. Now, this is all ad hoc, okay? If I go here, okay, I can see I've got some, you know, system charts and things like that. What you could do is I could go to, let's unfilter this, okay? And if I go to the view, actually let's go to these, let's go to the goals that I have here, pull this down, okay? Notice that I've got some personal views defined. So I could have gone through here and taken this, you know, the filtering that I did and saved this as a view. Okay, and I've already done that. I did that for Alan's goals, right? So here's Alan's sales goals. I saved that as a view. But notice I've also created some system goals. I've got Alan's sales goals as a system view. I've got active goals. Here's my sales goals. Now, what can I do with these? Why am I showing you this? Well, what I want to do here is tie the charts and dashboards discussion together with this.